Any veterans against the war in Iraq hoping to speak their minds this Veterans Day weekend out of luck and in trouble, at least if he or she tried to exercise his or her right to free speech in Southern California or in Boston. The groups Iraq Veterans Against the War, Veterans for Peace, Military Families Speak Out, all banned from marching in yesterday's Veterans Day parade in Long Beach, California. The reason given by parade organizer Martha Fuente, quote, "They do not fit the spirit of the parade, the spirit being one of gratitude for what the veterans have done. We do not want groups of a political nature advocating the troops' withdrawal from Iraq." Never mind showing gratitude for what the anti-war veterans have themselves done for this country, or the fact that the American Legion and VFW, two pro-war groups that have advocated any number of political positions, were allowed to march in Long Beach as well they should have been, or that Mr. Bush could use a Veterans Day venue to bring up 9/11, or that Mr. Cheney could use a Veterans Day venue to invoke General David Petraeus. Anti-war veterans in Boston, meantime, arrested for exercising their rights to free speech and freedom of assembly at that city's parade. And those are the veterans with the presence of mind, body, and spirit to protest at all. A shocking new study having found that 1 in every 4 veterans is homeless, even though only 1 out of every 10 Americans is a veteran. Aid workers saying now that Iraq and Afghanistan vets appear to be turning up homeless sooner than the Vietnam veterans did. And few who saw this image of Lance Corporal James Blake Miller in November 2004 is likely to have forgotten it or to ever forget it. In the years since this photograph of the then 20-year-old dubbed the Marlboro Marine was taken, Corporal Miller has been kicked out of the military for a, quote, personality disorder when he had trouble adjusting life back at Camp Lejeune. He's been divorced. He's been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, jobless, and at times suicidal, helped most not by the government, but principally by the LA Times photographer who took that picture. As promised, let's turn now to Paul Rieckhoff, the Executive Director and founder of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. Paul, thanks for coming in. Good evening.
My pleasure, Keith. Thank you.
So on Veterans Day, veterans, not the rest of us, not commentators, not politicians, veterans can't criticize the war, even if they're doing so silently.
Yeah, I think it's unacceptable. The bottom line is that these veterans who are members of Vets for Peace, Iraq Veterans Against the War, they've served in combat. They answered their country's call when that call came, and they have a difference of political opinion with the administration, but they have a right to march. I marched yesterday with thousands of veterans here in New York City, and there were people of all political persuasions, all political parties that came together to honor their service and pay respect to veterans. So these veterans have done their part, and they should have been allowed to march.
Yeah, we're thanking all the veterans. I can't imagine you saying that those veterans who think that we should still be there and go who knows where else. I can't imagine you or anybody in your group saying they don't have the right to be here.
No, I mean, the veterans are not a monolithic group. You have a diversity of opinions. Over 17 million veterans make up our population here, and they come from all backgrounds and have a variety of opinions on this war and on most wars. So if they take up arms in defense of their nation, they come home, they deserve to march in the parade and receive the gratitude and the thankfulness that we all received yesterday marching in parades around the country.
About the Marlboro Marine, this Lance Corporal James Blake Miller, if he had not already been one of the iconic images of this war, did he just become so because of this story about post-traumatic stress disorder, the suicidal tendencies, everything that he's had to face since he came back from Iraq, and basically after we took his picture, we threw him away?
Oh, absolutely. He represents what many veterans have faced coming home. 1.6 million veterans have been through Iraq and Afghanistan since 9/11, and roughly 1 in 3 are coming home with a mental health issue, post-traumatic stress disorder being the chief problem. If that post-traumatic stress disorder goes untreated, it results in high divorce rates, employment problems, incarceration, drug and alcohol abuse, suicide, and homelessness. Hundreds of thousands of veterans are on the streets tonight, homeless, that served in Vietnam and past wars, and that should be unacceptable to everybody in every political party.
I thought of you when that homeless announcement came out last week. Do you have any idea of your contemporaries from Iraq, from Afghanistan? How many are already out on the streets?
The VA has said there are over 1,500 right now nationally who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. We've seen dozens in our office here in New York City, and we've heard from others around the country, so we think the numbers are much higher. But even if it's 1, it's absolutely unacceptable. The American public should be outraged. We need the president to do more. We need Congress to do more. And right now, the VA budget is late, as of October 1st. So every VA hospital around the country is operating on last year's budget. We need that budget passed. We need Congress to focus on that instead of MoveOn.org ads, Rush Limbaugh, and the other stuff they've been occupying.
But you say you need the president to do more, but he wouldn't even come back for the wreath laying. I mean, to talk about really run on the backs of the veterans time and time again and not show up for the ceremonial laying of the wreath, that's not just disrespect, that's stupidity. How is that possible?
I wish I had the answer for you, Keith. I don't. I know the bottom line is that we need the president to be there. We need him to be out in front on veterans issues. We need the American public to hold him accountable. You can't just stand up and take a photo op on Veterans Day. Every day has to be Veterans Day, and we should all be able to unite as veterans and as Americans around this issue. It doesn't matter where you stand on this war. We all have a moral obligation to take care of the people who served.
Or at least show up to the photo op, the thing that we've all been raised on, and our grandparents were raised on, and great-grandparents in some cases.
You have to lead by example. We learned that in the military, and the president should do the same thing.
The punchline, he doesn't go to Arlington, but on Thursday at this rehab center in San Antonio, he played video games with wounded vets. There's not a problem with that. But the press secretary, the White House press secretary, Dana Perino, was explaining proudly to the White House press corps what the game was. It simulates a firefight in Baghdad, and her quote was, Mr. Bush helped shoot the bad guys in a bad neighborhood. Do you get the feeling sometimes that it's not a question of whether or not he cares about you and the other vets, but that he doesn't understand that it's not a video game?
He doesn't have the personal understanding. He's never served in harm's way. He's not a combat veteran, and I think he's really detached from the realities of war. He's never experienced it firsthand. His family hasn't experienced the impact of war on a visceral level, on a personal level, and I think the entire American public needs to understand this is not a video game. It's not a reality TV show. This is real life, and millions of people have been affected for a generation by this war.
His family, and we'll clarify that, his family meaning his generation onwards, his father knows what the hell he's talking about when it comes to veterans. He flew with great distinction in the Second World War.
Absolutely.
Paul Rieckhoff, the executive director and founder of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. Great, thanks for coming in tonight, Paul.
Thank you, Keith.